Tuesday exposing domestic abuse. A video will come out at about 9:30 in the morning. You can watch that. Not sure what the topic will be, but it's just all around signs that you should look out for when you're in a relationship. I always break my stuff into 4 categories of people. There's the ones that are trying to go into a relationship. You need to know what the red signs are, because if you don't know what it is, you don't know what to look out for, you don't know what to avoid. You end up finding yourself in a relationship that you've entered in because you're in love, and then you get in there and the trouble starts. Second category is those that are already in the relationship and they don't know that they're being abused. You need to understand what it is, because the longer you stay in an abusive relationship, the more difficult it is for you to come out, because you start saying, oh, I've been here for so long, let me just manage this, maybe he will change. And besides, you've been brainwashed a lot that you're not even functioning the way you're supposed to function. The third category of people are the ones that now know that they're in an abusive marriage or relationship and they want to get out. How do you go about it? That's the third category that I deal with. The fourth category is those that have come out. You understand? A lot of times people think when you come out of an abusive relationship, you just go back to going out, having a night out with the girls, going, to the chippy, local chippy, and that's having fun. Now, it depends on how long you've been in it. If you've been in an abusive relationship for a long time, you're going to go through a healing process where a whole lot of things will happen to you that you never imagined. So those 4 categories. My best advice to people out there is, if you haven't actually entered into a relationship, know the signs. You see, the Bible says, flee from all appearances of evil. People quote that all the time. But if you don't know what evil looks like, even if evil stood in front of you, you won't know. And this is the problem with relationship. A lot of men, a lot of women don't know what abusive people appear to look like. They don't know what red flags are. They don't know what the signs are. So even if the signs were right around you, all around you, in your face like this, you don't know what it is, so you still enter. So you need to know. So going back to that scripture, flee from all appearances of evil. You need to know what evil looks like to run away from it. Otherwise, you would just be dancing along with it, and then too late. So please, think about it. All right. No, nobody should have that amount of control over you, to be honest. Because even God Almighty, like we said, he gave human beings free will, which is why as a human being, you can go and mess up. No matter what you want to, you can do. He's not going to strike you down. So you have that free will. So if God Almighty or the creator or the universe or whatever it's called has given you that level of free will, who is that person, man or woman, that has decided to control your life? You understand? I say it again. These people don't change. They don't change. Okay? That's exactly what goes on with this kind of relationship. They mash you up mentally that you begin to question yourself. Maybe if I cook better, everything will be fine. But then it just doesn't happen like that. They are unreasonably jealous. They're jealous of everything. Someone smiles at you, jealous. Someone shakes your hand, jealous. You do well at work. You pass your exams. Anything that lifts you up, they're jealous about it. This is unreasonable jealousy. A good person, a good man or a good woman will be proud of you, will be happy with your achievements, will be happy about the things you do. A person that is constantly jealous of everything about you. I know this one woman, right? She's quite Christian. She knows the Bible very well and all that stuff. Her husband was so jealous that she had to learn that this guy's jealousy, I need to be careful so it doesn't go out of hand. One day, someone asked a question from the Bible to the man. Now, she knew the answer and he didn't. So he was like, oh, I don't know. And they were like, oh, excuse me, miss, do you know the answer to this question? Now, she knew that if she had answered that question and given them the answer, she'd be in trouble. So you're in trouble for having knowledge. So she had to lie. She didn't know the answer. That's where you deal with these people. They don't appreciate your progress. They seem like they do, but they don't want to see you actually being high or being lifted up. Now, this is the thing, right? A real relationship or a good relationship, the man will not feel insecure about his wife's intelligence. A woman will not feel insecure about her husband's intelligence. It's a thing of pride that you have somebody like that is part of you. Remember, a relationship is partnership. It's two people coming together to complete each other. So you got this stuff, I got this stuff. You're the left hand and the right hand. Come together. We got 2 hands and we're working. If one hand is saying, no, I don't trust you and this and that, then how is it going to work? If you're all and everything, then you don't need anyone in your life. Sometimes they could be extremely moody. They're just moody for no reason. They just, I'm just in a mood. I'm just in a mood, in a weird place. And then they blame their mood on you. They're saying you're responsible for them not feeling good. You're responsible. It's your job to make them happy. What are you talking about? Why is it someone's job to make you happy? Be happy if you want to be happy. You understand? They're just really moody. You understand? Watch out for those kind of people. They make a lot of jokes, mean jokes about you, and they say, oh, hang on, I was just joking. When you react, they're like, oh, you can't take a joke. But then it's not a joke. I said that before. If you're making a joke about someone and you're the only one laughing, that's an insult. That's putting the person down. You understand? They make up for everything by saying, I love you. Now remember, I love you, but. I love you, but. If only you wouldn't do that. I love you, but this. I love you, but that. If you love somebody, you love them. Remove the but. Everything is covered up by the word, I love you. If you love somebody, show working. You can't love someone and be a horrible person at the same time. But that's what they do. They are master manipulators. They know that once they say they love you to someone, then you take a step back and say, okay, maybe they didn't mean that. No, if you love someone, then you'll be nice to them. That's how life works. If you love them, be nice to them. Then there's the threats. There's the subtle threats. Then they say, if you don't do this, I'll do that. If you don't do this, I'll do that. Like they give you terms and conditions. That's not, I mean, that's like, that's dictatorship. That is tyranny, where you give people terms and conditions. If you don't do this, I'm going to do that. If you don't do this, I'm going to do that. You have to do this. That's not right. That's not love. These are forms of emotional abuse and psychological manipulation that over a period of time, it gets into your head and it's going to mash up yourself. It's going to mash up your sanity and how you reason and how you see things. They control everything about your life. You understand? There's no freedom in it. You understand? There's no freedom at all in what you're doing. Then when you don't seem to be doing when you're not doing what they want you to do, they withdraw their affection. So you try to hug them and they won't hug you. You try to come near them and they won't try to come near you. Do you understand? Remember that if you have kids, remember sometimes, your child misbehaves and you're like, okay, I'm not going to play with you anymore. You just stay there. You see, that's the kind of thing they do to you. You know how damaging that is to a child. Like, that's the one thing that children can't stand. When their mommy says, okay, I'm not going to play with you anymore. I'm not going to be your friend anymore. They can't stand it. Now, you're in a relationship with a grown adult. Something happened. And because they want to have their way, they withdraw their affection. Why should you withdraw your affection? Oh, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm a bit upset. I'm in a mood right now. I'm just laughing, because I see these things all the time. I get inquiries about these things. But if you're going through that, then you're in on that's emotional abuse. It's not right. You have what we call guilt trips, They take you on a guilt trip. That one, that one is a whole topic on its own. You understand? Everything is your fault. This happens is your fault. That happens is your fault. In fact, the whole world is at fault. But they're never wrong. You see, these kind of people, stay away from them. You understand? Stay away from them. Especially if a lot of these things are going on in your relationship, potentially there is no hope for that sort of person. There is no hope. Because if you're a grown adult and you're doing all these things, then when are you going to change? You can't change them. If they could change, they would have changed a long time ago. They isolate you from your friends and family. Like I said, and I say this as a joke, isolation is the breeding ground of abuse. Now, the reason why abusive people isolate you from your friends and family, because they know that if you hang out with your friends and family, once you talk about what's going on in the house, someone will say, oh, hang on, that's a red flag. So they keep you away from your support system, your support network. You know how they say it's a community that raises a child? Exactly. So you know what? That community, right? That community, right, raised you. That community is your pillar. That community raised you up as a child. Now you fall in love with someone and they're saying, stay away from your family. Stay away from your friends. What are you talking about? Where were you when those friends were there? When were you when those friends were giving themselves to be in a friendship? Then someone just waltzes into your life and says, no, your friends are bad. Your family are bad. Your workmates are bad. In fact, let's not go anywhere. Let's just stay in the house. Let's be an island. No, they're doing that because they want to have they want to be the only one that has access to dealing with your brain. By the time they actually let you come out of isolation, you'll be acting weird. Because all this while you've been listening to only one person and no one else. You understand? Anyone that tries to isolate you or take up all your time so that you don't have access to the real world, stay away from them. It's money to control you. Let's say one person is the earner and the other person doesn't have a job. Now, you can't go anywhere because you don't have transport money. You can't make a phone call because they stopped you from having a contract phone. They don't recharge or put charge money into your phone. You understand? They choose what you eat because they have the access to the money to buy your own food. Now that's money to control. That's financial control. That's the way to control you. Now, when you're being controlled that much, where you don't have access to funds, now you're not forced to behave in a way that you don't want to. You have to do everything they want you to do just so you can have access to funds. You get me? Because you don't have, you can't go online, you can't buy anything, you can't choose your own clothes, you can't choose your own food. They buy what they want you to wear. They buy what they want you to eat. They choose when you eat and when you don't eat. Now this is wrong on every different level. Every single level you can think about it, it is wrong. Constant calling or texting. Now initially this could sound like, oh, he's so sweet, she's so sweet, calling me all the time. Guess what? It's not sweet. Why are they calling you all the time? Really? No, you need space. You need space to breathe. So you hang out with the person, you're on the phone with them. It's okay. You understand? Chill. Let the girl breathe. Let the guy breathe. Because that constant calling and texting and all that is too much. You understand? It's too much. Space. And then it's also their reaction. Like if they try to ring you and you didn't pick up the phone, they get agitated. They say they're going to kill themselves. They're going to kill themselves because you said something. Because you put your foot down for the first time and said, no, I'm not doing these things you want me to do. They're not right. Oh, I'm going to kill myself. You say, oh, I want to go out. The person says, no, I'm going out. I'll kill myself. Do you know what? This relationship here is a bit too intense. I'm going to leave. I've had enough of this relationship. I'm going. In fact, I'm killing myself right now. Those kind of people, run away. And please, 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 if you have a brother or you have a sister or you have a friend that sounds like that, please, yeah, if you know the person they're dating or they're married to, please go and help that person. Because it's not normal. If you know that friend, right, if you got that friend, right, that calls you on the phone to say they're having relationship problems and they start crying, especially when he's a man. You know, women, we cry all the time for no reason. But if you have that male friend, your brother, your male friend, your neighbor, calls you on the phone to say, I'm having difficulties in my marriage, and they start crying, please listen to that story very well. Listen to the story. Because a lot of times, yeah, these people, they know how to not just manipulate their victim, but they manipulate everybody around them. So that in the event that everything comes out in the open, you tend to believe them. A lot of times, yeah, women who've been abused, women that have been abused, after a period of time, they don't know how to cry anymore because their emotions have died in that relationship. So when you see them against the abuser will be so quick to cry, to shed tears and talk about how their life is over, how they're suffering. You're looking at the woman, she can't even talk. You know why? She's all done. She's broken beyond, you understand? She's broken probably beyond repairs. So keep an eye for those kind of people. If you got a brother that is always crying, oh, I called my girlfriend, she doesn't want to talk to me, I'm just going to die, I'm just going to kill myself. You know what? Help your brother. Then when you try helping him, call his girlfriend and tell her, run away from my brother, he's not well. Just so there's no shame involved with it. Because we know these people all around us, you understand? It's not right for someone to be sick, and you know they're sick, but you encourage them in a relationship because you just think that if we can just marry him out, if we can just marry her out, let her go and be someone else's problem. You know, by the time he gets married, he will become a man. Just like, no, he's going to go there and destroy someone else's child, and that's not right. I say this again, and hear me when I say it. If you have a brother, or you have a friend, you know, or a son, that is so quick to say they will kill themselves because of relationship, that is so quick to cry because of relationship, they are so quick to say, be angry about the whole world. They talk down to their mother, their sisters, to everybody. In fact, they feel women are the problem. If you have that person in your family, I'm telling you, that person is a problem. You need to go and help your son, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your whatever. Don't let them go into a relationship with someone else's daughter to go and spoil that person's life. You get me? Because that's just the truth. We see these people all around us and we just think it's a joke. It's not a joke. They're not well. Seriously, they're not well at all. So, right, in all these things I've said today, if you're going through that, in your relationship, then you need to take a step back and think. Definitely, if you check the box for about 7 of these, yeah, you are in an emotionally and a psychologically abusive relationship. And trust me, the day you put your foot down and say, I won't be controlled like this anymore, they will hit you. If they can't hit you, they will kill you. That's just how it works. I'm not a psychologist, but I've studied psychology and all lots of things. It always ends in the same way. Please hear me when I say this. These people don't change. I know we all want them to change. We want to make the world a better place. But there's some things that cannot change. Can a leopard change his spots? How about the other one? Can he change his stripes? They can't. It is what they are. It is what it is. It is who they are. So, and besides, if someone is going to change, yeah, you're not the one to change them. Let them go and change themselves for someone else. You understand? Because potentially, right, if the person even tries to change, you're the trigger because they've controlled you for so long. Put you guys back together, they'll still see you as that person they should control. For instance, you have someone who is struggling with a drug problem or an alcohol problem. They say, you know what, I want to give up drugs and alcohol. And they say, okay, we've changed. They go through a program, they go through the system, whenever they flush the system out and they don't take drugs anymore. Put that person back in a place where people are taking drugs and taking alcohol and the rest of it. What do you think is going to happen? It won't take long. They're going to go back to it, especially on a day when they're down. So if you're a victim of abuse and your partner who is the abuser says, I've done psychology, I've done all that stuff, and I'm now renewed my mind and I'm no longer an abusive person, still don't go near them. Don't go near them, because you know what? You'll always be the trigger, just like an ex-addict on drugs. So stay away from them. Don't wait to get hit. The hitting is going on in your head from beginning, so that by the time it even happens, you're kind of like, you're not going to react. And then it just carries on from there. Right. So, it's your girl, IkwerreGirl Acheru, all the way from London, coming to you from Talk to Dot. Today we talked about the signs of emotional abuse. And there's actually 21 of them. Number 1, humiliating or embarrassing you. 2, constantly puts you down. 3, hypercriticism. 4, refusing to communicate. 5, ignoring or excluding you. 6, extramarital affair. 7, provocative behavior with the opposite sex. 8, use of sarcasm and unpleasant tone of voice. 9, unreasonable jealousy. 10, extreme moodiness. 11, mean jokes and constantly making fun of you. 12, saying I love you, but, so there's always the but there. There's always a clause why they love you. The terms and condition. 13, saying things like, if you don't, I will. So if you don't do this, I'll do that. You understand? So they put in a fear in you, subtle control and fear. 14, domination and control. 15, withdrawal of affection. 16, guilt trips. 17, making everything your fault because they are the only righteous beings on earth. Jesus! I once said to someone a long time ago that said they were always right. They don't do anything wrong. I said, you know what? If you are that perfect and you don't do anything wrong, then you should not be here. This place we live in, this earth, right, is for imperfect people trying to walk towards perfection. And you know what? We die and we've not even achieved the state of perfection. So if you're telling me right now that you are a perfect person, you shouldn't be one of us. In fact, you shouldn't be here. Just get on your rocket ship and planet Ziploid. Go to another planet where the perfect people are. You understand? Everything is your fault, number 17. Number 18, isolating you from friends and family. If you follow my videos, I always say it. Isolation is the breeding ground of abusive people. They keep you there, you're like a prisoner, and they can do whatever they want to do with you. Right, where's the other one then? Number 19, using money to control you. Okay, you have to earn your brownie points before you get any money to use. 20, constantly calling and texting you, you know, when you're not with them, because even when you're not with them, they want to control what you're doing. So if you're on the phone with them all the time responding, you don't have the opportunity to interact with other people out there. Number 21, which is, people see these things all the time. This person threatens to commit suicide. So please, yeah, if you know that one person that says they will kill themselves if this doesn't happen and that doesn't happen, remember, please remember, a person who says they will kill themselves, they will kill you. They can do it easily. So please, it's not love. If someone says, I love you so much because I didn't see I'm going to die. Run. Run, run, run. Okay.